Hi guys, it's Andy the Expedition Hiker, and today we're on our last of our little trip that we did up North Yorkshire. Today we're going to a place called Norber Erratics. It's a one of a kind that's in Great Britain. Then we're going up to Trow Gill, a old ravine, and then we're going to head down towards Clapham. So it's a circular walk, it's about 10 miles. But the problem being is that I haven't been bringing out videos as often as I usually do. So when I was up in North Yorkshire, I slipped over a few times, and at the time I didn't think anything of it. But once I got home, a few days later, I found I put my back out. And since then I've been struggling, and even when I do editing, it's been a bit of a pain. So hopefully I'll be back out walking soon once my back is recovered. Got some wild camps I'm hoping to do. I've got some new kit I want to try out. And also I'm getting close to that 1,000 subscriber mark. I think only 40 to go. I'll sleep in that haunted house or hotel once I get to 1,000 subscribers. That video could be coming out soon. So let's get on with today's video in North Yorkshire. And we're heading up to Norber Erratics.
Morning, it's Andy the Expedition Hiker. We're in Austwick today, or Austwick, not sure how you pronounce it, and that's in North Yorkshire. Today we're going up to, I think it's called Norber Erratics. From Norber Erratics we're going to go onto the Pennine Bridleway. Then we're going to head up past a couple of caves up to a thing called, now let me remember this one, Trow Gill. I believe it's an old ravine. Once we get there, we're going to go past another cave. Then we're going to walk alongside, I think it's called the Beck, which is a brook or stream. And then we'll head back in towards Austwick via Clapham. So at the moment, I'm standing in the bus stop of Austwick. So it's a circular route we're doing today, about 9 miles. The only problem is that I would like to walk further. Problem being is that winter light, that's going to stop me. So first stop is a Norber Erratics as we go through the village. One of the only bad things about this walk, like since I've been up in North Yorkshire, it hasn't stopped raining. So I might get a bit of drizzle on the camera, a bit misty, but bear with. Overall, should be a nice day. Just going through the village. I think we're going to, it might be called Gomberstack Lane, and that'll head us up towards the Norber Erratics. This is the Norber Erratics. It's meant to be the only one like this left in Britain. Well, I say left, I mean it's happened from the glaciers and erosion. There's more of it as we go up the top. There's some interesting rock formations further up. Hopefully we'll get to see them, but I'm trying to keep to the trail as well. So as I said, these are the Norber Erratics. So we're going for more of the green fields, not a boulder in sight. We come across this, boulders galore. Created from the last ice age. So it's like being in space all of a sudden. Well, not that I know what space is like, or being on the moon or Mars or where. This is probably as close as it gets without the grass. Probably just clay if it was Mars. But the thing is, across here, we're see straight in front of us. It looks like there's a wall being formed. Now, I don't know if that's part of the feature, or maybe back in the Iron Age or beyond, they actually built a fortress or some form around these rocks. So there's meant to be a rock that's like 30-40 tons, and it's been balanced by a few near enough pebbles. Now I'm not sure where it is. Now the stones that's holding it up are limestone, and these look more like sandstone or gritstone, which gritstone is a form of sandstone. But yeah, I'm not sure where that one is. It'd be nice to see it if we can find it. Now, there is one up there. Looks like it's leaning over. But this one's meant to have, well, if I can't find it, I'll put a picture in just about now. Now I wonder if it's this one in front. As you can see, it's not as big as I was expecting, but it is just held up by a few stones. You can see a bit closer underneath. It's just perched up on some other stones. Maybe the Druids put them there. You know how the Druids did everything. Put big stones everywhere, Stonehenge and all that. Here's some drone footage. Well, there's a drone in front of us. That's something I really need to invest in, as a drone. I did say that before. I'll get a drone if we get past 1,000 subscribers. Also going to buy a wildlife camera. Particular project I've got planned if we get to that 1,000 subscriber mark. Yeah, here's a little bit of drone footage. Alright, that was Norber Erratics. But we're heading away now. We're going to try and pick up onto the Pennine Bridleway. And then that's going to head up towards Clapham, which I think is about 2 miles. And once we get past Clapham, we are hopefully going to continue along the Bridleway, head up to a place called Trow Gill. The only problem is, light is not my friend at the moment. As in, it's going to get dark, but we're going to try and get there anyway. It's meant to be an old ravine, like a gorge. Had a waterfall on it at one point, but it's dried up, so we'll see if we can get there. Now there is a show cave along the way as well, Ingleton Cave. There is loads of these caves dotted around this area. So we've just come from that way, and don't you always love it when you walk across the field, over the stile, you never see a sign. When you get to the other side, you see a sign like this: warning, bull in field. Well, I didn't see it, but it would have been nice if I put a sign both sides of the field, not just one end. Anyway, we are on the Pennine Bridleway now. I'm going to head this way for about just less than a mile, and we'll get towards Clapham. Then we're going to turn a right. I think that's continuing on the Bridleway, and that'll take us up to, I think it's called Trow Gill. Right, we've reached the point, so could go that way, but we're going this way. Now we're not going to Sellside, 4 3/4 miles, but we are going about just under 2 miles, and we're going to try and get to this Trow Gill, which is along here. It's a small old world. I bumped into a couple on this track a moment ago, and I came across them at Malin Cove a few days ago, and we had a bit of a chat, and they said they were going to have a look at my YouTube channel, so hopefully you've had a look, and if you haven't subscribed, then please do. And that goes for anybody else. We are closing down on 1,000 subscribers. Like I said, if I get to 1,000, I'll sleep in the most haunted house in England or Wales. Now I'm still trying to work out which one that is. But in the meantime, we've got 90 subscribers to go to get to 1,000. So we're closing in on it. Now March is when I started this channel. So it'll be 2 years in March. So if I can get an extra 90 subscribers by the time I get to the 2-year anniversary, that would be great. So if you haven't subscribed, so I thought that was a sheep on me, right? It's not. It's a rock. So if you haven't subscribed, please do. Like to the video would be also great, and feel free to make a comment. I always like reading comments and answering them, so add a comment. And share the videos as well. Anyway, let's keep going. As we head up along the track towards Trow Gill, Just come across this. Obviously a cave there inside the, well, it looks like limestone. So a limestone face, and then a bit of a cave. Now, there's a possibility we might pass that on the way back. I've just realised, I think that's called Ingleton Cave. It's a show cave. And then I think that cave goes back quite a distance actually. Part of that hill. Obviously got to pay for that one. So we're still plodding along this track. It's the part of the Pennine Bridleway. We're heading up to Trow Gill. And bear with me a moment. So we've got possibly about half a mile to go to get this Trow Gill. And once we get there, we're going to have a quick swifty round, and then I'm going to head back. But head back via, there's a path alongside the stream, the brook. I think it's called the Beck, because I think we're going to go past the source of the stream in a moment. So the other walk we did was the Christmas walk, Christmas wild camp on Ingleborough Mountain, 723 metres. And we had to bail out on that one. So if you want to see that video, I'll leave a link to here. So in the meantime, let's get up to Trow Gill. Now the time is on the essence. It is winter, so we best get there. It's starting to rain again, which it hasn't really stopped raining since I came to Yorkshire, and I'm sure it will just stop as I leave. But anyway, in the meantime, let's get up to Trow Gill. So this is Trow Gill. Well, the path's cut through the gorge. I'm sure the gorge came before the footpath. A lot of trees falling around here, and this is the way I came down when I came after my bailout at Christmas, my wild camp bailout. So coming down here, it's a bit slippy now going up it. It was even worse coming down in the sleet and pitch black. You can see a tree just there, hanging by a thread, so to speak. That's going to fall at any time. Just hanging by a twig, a root. It's almost the height of the gorge. What's it's hanging by, I don't know. But when it falls, it's going to tipple us straight over the gorge. Let's just hope it's not today. Thing is, I didn't see that at night time when I came down at Christmas. Hopefully not, because it would have been a bit scary. That falling across the path as I'm coming across it. Anyway, we'll try and walk past it. So by the looks of it, these look like limestone cliffs. So if you wanted to continue this way without slipping, you go up to Gaping Gill and end up to Inglesborough. I'm sure caveman lived there at some point. There's some slight faint carvings on the wall. Not sure what they are, how new or old they are. So this is the gorge, Trow Gill. And so obviously there would have been a river that would have come through here at some point. And I'm sure at wetter seasons it comes across again. But it looks like they're felling a lot of the trees around here. Gaping Gill is similar to this, but I think it's bigger, a bigger gorge. So looking down the gorge, or ravine, it's a bit like something you'll see on a film set, King Kong or Jurassic Park or something like that. Apart from the dripping of water, because it's still raining, not a noise, not even a bird. Oh, as I said that, someone tweeted. That's quite eerie. Right, anyway, we're going to head down there. We want to get to Clapham. I'm going to take the other path. So we should get to Clapham at least before it gets dark. So just here is the source of the Beck. This is what we're going to follow down now. This is the spring. You can just about see there, centre of the screen now, it's just a bit of a trickle. So it must come from underneath that mound there and here. Getting stronger as we head down. So this is the grotto. So looking towards white scars. So the ornamental stone structure known as the grotto is an example of a folly. In the late 18th century, it became fashionable for landowners to construct ornamental buildings of this kind in gardens or peak areas. So Aunt Bessie's grotto. Aunt Bessie like looking out at it. So what's the grotto? This is the grotto. And then looking from inside, we can't see much, it's a bit dark. We're looking outwards, so Aunt Bessie used to like looking out at that. Thwaites, let's go with that, Thwaites scars. So that's Thwaites scars in front of us. Anyway, we need to keep going. Clock is ticking. It's 4 o'clock now. So in about 15-20 minutes, it's going to be dark. And I want to get to Clapham before it's dark. And it gives me 2-3 miles of night walking, just for a change. There's some hammering going off down there. I don't know what's going off there. Or maybe it sounds like maybe a pump or something. And we can see the Beck down there. Not sure what that banging is, because there's nothing there. It sounds like a pump, probably pumping water up the hillside. And you walk a few yards further and we can just see a building just down there. It's a pump building. So it's either pumping water from the hilltop or pumping water to the hilltop. Obviously the hill being quite steep up there. Oh, this is surprising. I only walked about 300-400 metres further than when that rushing water cascading down the ravine, gorge, the Beck. And now here, just a bit further on, the water's still. But it's part of the same water. This is heading downwards towards it. And I think, how clear you're going to be able to see this, I don't know. But directly, right, dead in the middle now. You can just see something a little bit white. That looks like a heron. Anyway, so yeah, heron dead in the centre now. It's getting a bit dark now, but we'll give you a couple of dates before we get back. Hopefully, it was a heron. There you go. Just gone across there. Now, I've told you about herons before and their croaky noise they make. Now, when I watched Jurassic Park and pterodactyls, they seem to make the same noise as the heron. Well, I'll turn the lights on. The only problem is now it's fetching all the bugs as well. It's like an opening of a gorge here. It does sound like it's going to cascade again, out further down. I think it's starting to sleet again, or fine snow. Right, we've just reached Clapham. A bit darker than I planned to get here for. We've still got 3 miles to walk. At least we're in Clapham, so we've got a choice now. We can walk along a road, or we can walk back along the Pennine Bridleway to Austwick, which I think we'll take plan B. And I need to get my headlamp out in a minute. You can see the church in front of us. Again, not too dark, not too light. 25 to 5. So shows how dark it is so early. And we've got this signpost here, which is, well, as it says, Clapham, North Yorkshire, Pennine Cycleway, Ingleton, well, we've just come from there, National Park, and Austwick and Settle, 2 miles away. So that's what we've got, 2 miles to do, 2 miles in the dark. But we're walking down this way now. I think it's like a country lane all the way to Austwick, so shouldn't be too bad. So it's the Church of St James in Clapham. It's quite a tall church. I mean, the roof part of the main nave is almost as tall as the tower, at 2 floors high. A telephone box, a BT telephone box that's actually working. You do see the odd red one that's got a defibrillator in it, or a library. You don't see a normal telephone box very often these days. Well, there's a defibrillator there. Oh, this is a gay rescue organisation. So this is for mountain and cave rescue emergencies. But yeah, don't see a telephone box that often these days. It's a rarity. Anyway, we're going to continue on this road. Here's the pub, whatever it's called, the New Inn. Is it? New Inn? Yeah, New Inn. Clapham looks a nice little, quaint little village. Got a few shops, an antique shop and whatnot else. So, we've got 2 miles to walk to Austwick. And then we're going to stop off at the pub in Austwick, which is called the Gamecock. I'm looking forward to that. I've earned a pint today, I think. Right, let's head out to Clapham and let's head for Austwick. As we continue down the road, well, we're coming towards the A road, but fortunately there's a track by the side of it. We've just come across this, an old boundary stone. So Clapham to the left, Austwick to the right. So in a moment we're in Austwick. We're in Austwick. Problem is, none of the buildings and the pub is nowhere near here. Let's keep going. I take it's their Christmas present. A whole pile of straw and hay to eat. And we're all going for it. Over Christmas. 400 metres to go. There's the Gamecock. First turn left, 400 metres. So that's how far we're going to go. We're walking along on the cycle track now. This is the Route 68. And alongside me is the A65. Somebody's not telling the truth. Because we went past that sign about 100 metres ago and it said 400 metres. Now this signpost is saying Austwick 3/4 mile. That way. A festive Austwick at Christmas. Oh, you can really tell, but it's the church of Austwick. Right, we are back in Austwick. Still haven't got a clue how to pronounce that. We're just by the church, which is near enough where we started from. Now, my problem is, well, not much of a problem. I mean, it's only 5:10, but it is the dead of winter. And I think I spent too much time up on the Erratics, Norber Erratics, trying to find that particular rock, which I didn't really find anyway. So overall, good old walk. I think overall we've probably done about 10.5, 11 miles. The line that you can see is my microphone, the cable to my microphone. Anyway, it's a bit dark. So with that, I'm going to head over to the Gamecock, have a pint, and I'm going to head back to the accommodation. So hopefully you enjoyed this walk. It's been interesting. Not my usual history things, but overall it's been an interesting walk. So with that, I'd like to just say a belated Merry Christmas, and I'll see you soon. So take care and bye hikers. And there we are, we're at the Gamecock for Yorkshire and pint. So see you on the next one.